Hey guys, how's it going? It's Stu27. Welcome back to Automaton.
Why are you doing an intro?
Because I'm gonna burp, but I wanted to do an intro to distract myself from burping.
Oh, okay. Just burp. Just be a man.
Dr. Pepper and pizza. I love it.
Anyways.
Burpy. Burpy as heck.
If anybody didn't stay until the end of the last episode, stop now and go back.
Honestly, it's amazing.
Anyways, just in case there's anybody who's freaking out that they don't know what I was going to say.
Yep. What a concept.
I was going to say is that when I wake up every morning, I'm happy that rap rock doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, but I deal with like stuff called mumble rap or whatever it's called.
But that's in the rap genre. But like the rap
still,
rock,
garbage.
all the Corn and Fred Durst or whatever the hell his name was. All of those. Well, that's a rapper. Whatever. But the rap rock just.
Yeah, come on, tell me what you want to do now.
Okay.
Like Fred Durst impersonation.
Wow, that's awful. That's bad.
I know. That's why it's a Fred Durst impersonation.
Right,
oh,
so from a
spinning the ones and twos over here.
Please, God, stop, please.
What?
Please. So, please stop.
Stop what?
Just stop.
Stop what?
Whatever
what
you're thinking about doing, stop it.
What? I'm not doing anything, man. I'm just laying it down, man. I'm just laying it like...
Stop it. Stop making me so sad. Stop it.
What? What? Why are you feeling sad?
You know what you're doing.
What?
Anyways.
Come on.
But like I was saying before, I still have DVR. I still very much enjoy DVR.
Yeah.
Because I don't enjoy commercials. But here's the funny part though, is that I'm kind of stuck, and this is like a perfect example of me, of Modii. You ready?
Yeah.
I'm still stuck in the old days, i.e., like a DVR and having cable and that kind of stuff. But at the same time, I'm also in the modern times where I still have an account to Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime and all of that stuff. So yeah, it's a little odd, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But I need 8 of these. What do I have? Okay. Anyways, but I need steel ones. Oh crap.
Oh, God, come on.
Let's see.
Give me the enchantment I want.
Let's grab a stack of this. Yeah, but I still watch a pretty good amount of TV shows. I still watch a lot of stuff on networks.
Yeah.
Big Bang Theory and a lot of that stuff. How's it going over here?
Okay, so apparently to progress further with loot, I have to have, well, at least for the quest line, I need to make tier XP upgrades.
Okay.
And those require Luck of the Sea books.
Okay.
And I need to have specific Luck of the Sea books. And the only way to get that is from the random enchantment generator.
Really?
Yeah. So, I'm just going to get some glowstone. And a little bit of gold. And see if maybe the XP2 I can make, because I have a Luck of the Sea 2, but not Luck of the Sea 1 or Luck of the Sea 3.
Hey, by the way, thanks for letting me know that my hat's been off this entire time.
Hey, your hat's been off the entire time, by the way. I just want you to know that.
Jerk.
I'm just looking out for you, buddy.
Are you? Is that what you're doing? Because you're doing a bad job.
Yeah.
Anyways, but
yeah.
But like I said, so I still watch a lot of stuff. I watched I started watching Making a Murderer and got like about halfway through the first season, and then got distracted by something, and I ended up watching the rest of it and season 2 recently. So, did you ever watch that?
Making a Murderer? No.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't watch that.
So, well, Netflix and Hulu and even Amazon Prime, the Amazon Video, kind of became a big deal when Heather and I were dating, because that was the only way we could watch things together. We would watch them at the same, like it was like recording videos. We'd be like, okay, let's watch this. Ready? 3, 2, 1, click. And then we watched entire long seasons of shows. I made her sit through all of Battlestar Galactica, watched all of Chuck, watched a lot of stuff. Some stuff.
Yeah.
What?
Sarah and I are doing the same thing right now.
Well, you guys are kind of where we were a couple years ago.
Yeah, we're powering through Vikings right now.
Yeah. And the funny part is it reminds me very much of doing recordings, because you find something, you get into it, you go in, you go for a while, and then when it's over, you're like, well, what in the hell are we supposed to do now?
Yeah, what now?
What now?
We're already thinking that because Amazon Prime doesn't have the latest seasons of Viking on it yet.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are you gonna do when season 402 is done?
Well, there were some things that we watched that a lot of the stuff we watched and stuff that had already ended, and because I watched so much TV, 95% of what Heather and I watched I had already seen. But the funny part is I got the enjoyment out of watching, watching it with her.
Yeah.
Because, I knew there was stuff that she was going to, I knew what was going to happen. So there were parts that I was like, oh, yeah.
You should watch it.
Exactly. So
let's see what she thinks.
So I actually really enjoyed that part of it. So, and then that way, like I said, I could kind of, base it off what I thought she, what I kind of had learned over time, that the shows that she would like. So, but, oh God, Snoop's got a gun.
Snoop has got a gun.
The whole world's come undone. But, so let me ask you this, Snoop. I don't know if I've ever asked you this. Have you ever gone to a concert?
I have gone to concerts before.
Okay, let me start over and ask it a different way. Have you ever gone to a concert that was not Weird Al?
No.
Okay.
I'm glad you clarified, because those are the only concerts I've gone to.
How many times have you seen Weird Al live?
Wait, no, actually, I have gone to a non-Weird Al concert. I have.
Okay.
For my mom's birthday, we went down to this was, I think, like 7-8 years ago. We went down to the San Diego Harbor by the convention center, and they had a Los Lonely Boys concert.
Okay.
With Automaton. So it was a lot of surfer rock, easy kind of stuff. Easy listening. My mom's huge into that. So we all went down there.
Wait. Los Lobos?
Los Lonely Boys.
Oh, Los Lonely Boys. Okay. For some reason I heard Los Lobos in my head. I'm like, the guys that did La Bamba for the La Bamba movie? Okay, weird. Go ahead. But
here you go, Moni. Have some stuff.
Weapons.
Yeah, nice. You have a cool gun like me.
Ooh. Okay, I will in a second.
Yeah, I did that, and that was fun.
Okay.
But the only real concerts I've gone to, I went to, I saw Weird Al in concert at the Del Mar Fair when he was doing his Dare to Be Stupid tour.
Okay.
And then I went down with my sister for her birthday to San Diego State University, to Coors Amphitheater, where he did his, it wasn't mandatory fun, it was, I think, Alpocalypse? I think that was it.
Okay, all right.
Well, yeah, I think that was it. No, it was mandatory fun. It was mandatory fun tour.
Now, that was since we've been friends. That was recently, right?
That was a couple years ago.
Yeah. I remember when you guys did that. So, yeah. Like, didn't you surprise your sister with it, or vice versa? One of those two.
Yeah. I kind of surprised her. I'm like, hey, Lauren, guess what?
Okay, yeah.
You're gonna have tickets to. Let's go see Weird Al. She's like, ah, because it was like 3 months ahead in advance.
Yeah, I couldn't. I knew one of you surprised the other one. I remember that. So, but I went. I mean, okay. So, I had to explain this to Sarah. There is a difference between a concert and a show. All right. A concert basically is usually a pretty big national touring, huge band, right? Where a lot of time when you go there, there's like seats, like going to a movie. Like, you have, all right, we're in row 36, C's, seats, C's, A, B, C, and D or whatever, right? A show is definitely a lot smaller type thing where it's usually standing room only type scenarios. And they're usually, that's how I saw more punk bands. So I've been to a million shows. I've seen a majority of bands I like play at some point, either between Tucson or driving up to Phoenix. And I've seen a lot of bands, like Heather and I really love Bayside, you know that. I've probably seen Bayside 6 or 7 times live. And for a band that's from, Queens, New York, Bayside, New York, and I live the opposite side of the country, that's quite a few times. They're not like local or anything like that.
Right.
But I'm going to give you embarrassing stuff. And I think I've told you about some of these before. Don't you steal my steel. You stole my steel.
I need to make complaints.
Anyways, there were... Okay, so I had mentioned that I grew up with a single mom, right?
Yeah.
So there were a lot of times that I ended up going along with her to stuff.
Yeah.
Modii 101, have seen... Wait, what the hell did I just make? What is the same thing?
I made an extra pair of engineering blocks, just so you know.
Oh, okay.
You Modii 101, Modii Aloysius 101.
I have seen live on 3 separate occasions the man, the myth, the legend,
David Bowie.
Kenny Rogers.
Oh.
Yeah, my mom was going to see Bowie, in the 90s. No,
you never know.
No, we do. Oh, did I actually make it? Holy crap, I made it. All right. So, look at that. I finished a chapter, Snoop. That's it.
Really?
Yeah. Powered Up is done now.
Well, aren't you special?
I've never made these exchanges before. Have you ever seen these?
I had to swap blocks out, right?
Yeah. So here, take that and go ahead and look at that. That's the HV one. That's the highest level one. Yeah, you blocks that are in your inventory, you just click what you want to change anything into, and you can change whatever into whatever. For us, we really don't need it because lab blocks don't turn the whole place into cobble. Please, that'd be great. But I have seen Kenny Rogers, I believe, on 3 separate occasions. And one of them, Dolly Parton was there. At the time, as a kid, I hated it. As a teenager, I was embarrassed of it. But I'm going to tell you right now, I wouldn't go see it now, but there's a weird kind of almost hipster pride mentality in the back of my head. That's the only way I can describe it. To where I'm a little proud that I've seen Kenny and Dolly do Islands in the Stream live, okay? But, once again, not my most embarrassing story.
Okay.
My first concert, and I didn't go to many of these. I didn't go to many concerts. Like I said, I mostly went to shows, smaller punk rock bands, and some other weird bands and stuff like that. My first show, I want to say, what in God's name is that?
What? Nothing?
I'm going to die. I saw live, and you're only going to probably recognize 2 of these 3 artists, but the opening act was a young kid by the name of Young MC. He had a little ditty along the lines called Bust a Move in the late 80s. Come on, Poindexter, bust a move. Yeah. Okay. Then, ow! Where's water? And then the next act was 3 girls named Sweet Sensation. I really...
Oh, no, Modii, you should have survived.
I didn't make it. Sweet Sensation. And I don't remember any of their songs. They weren't very big. The only thing I remember is there was one point where it was 3 girls, like a girl singing group, right?
Yeah.
And I was like 12 when I went to see it with some friends.
Girls.
And at one point... they stuck like the ends of the mics in the front of their pants so they could do their little dance routine, and I instantly became a man.
Oh,
I grew my beard during that dance breakdown. The whole thing just came in right there. I was facially bald as a newborn baby, and when I left, I was Grizzly Adams.
Wow.
Still haven't gotten to the embarrassing part.
That's,
the headliner
impressive.
for this act,
yeah,
mind you, and I'm going to use the word live show loosely. I saw Milli Vanilli.
Right.
So, for anybody out there who doesn't know, and it's funny because this is now the second video on my channel in as many weeks, because I was explaining to Zykic who Milli Vanilli was. Milli Vanilli was two guys that sang kind of R&B dance music that was very R&B dance pop music, right? They were very chiseled. They had like perfectly manicured dreads, both of them identical, like to the same. Every dread was the same length. They were very high cheekbones, very chiseled, just Adonis-y looking men, right?
Right.
And they sang songs like "Blame It on the Rain" and just real like, you know, I want to take your pants off, girl type of songs. Anyways, and the big problem with Milli Vanilli is that probably about a year, and they won a ton of Grammys. They put out multiple albums. They made millions upon millions of dollars. And then one time, and this was early on, probably during camcorder days, they had done a show, and in the middle of the show, all of a sudden, the lyrics they were singing started repeating themselves over and over and over again. And the two guys look at each other and then quickly run off stage.
They were lip syncing.
Now, once again, not good. You paid money to see this live show. But a lot of time, honestly, the idea of people lip syncing, especially like pop artists that are dancing, is actually not even that huge of a deal anymore. Because a lot of the time people are there, like if Britney Spears is lip syncing, you're there for the spectacle of the show.
You're there for Britney Spears just for being there.
You're not necessarily there to be like, let's see if she can actually hit this note. The big deal was, what ended up coming out was, it turned out that those two guys never sang the original songs that were on the recording. It was two other guys that weren't nearly as pretty or chiseled. They just had amazing singing. Well, okay, it's Milli Vanilli. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. They had really good singing voices. So these guys were the actors, and they lip synced to the track. So they never sang live. They never recorded anything. They never did anything. And somehow when that whole thing happened at that concert, because at the time, oh, wow, your fluid tank is almost full of oil already. You're probably going to want to shut this guy off until we start making the distillation towers. You want me to take care of it?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. I'm just going to make a lever and shut it off. So yeah, like I said, and that was a pretty big deal. So there's a weird part of me that's kind of proud that I got to see Milli Vanilli live.
But not only live, they also royally flubbed it up.
Yeah, well, and then there was a whole thing where I guess the big reason is because it wasn't just something they were performing on stage that they were lying about. They accepted Grammys. So they had taken accolades for something they didn't do. They got Grammys, which meant that other singers who did make albums and did perform and all that stuff lost to them. So it really jumped into a fraud type thing. Now, admittedly, these guys ended up coming out with I think it was a third album after the controversy, and it was actually them. Now, first of all, they sounded nothing like they did on the other albums because it wasn't the same guys.
Right.
They weren't bad singers. Like, they weren't like horribly out of tune or tone deaf or anything like that. but they certainly weren't as skilled as the guys that they had hired to sing the other album, which is why it went that way. And then by this point, everybody was, they had become such a joke in the whole thing that there was no way they were coming back from it. So, but yeah, that was my one of my few concerts was seeing Milli Vanilli live, and I grew a beard that night, so that was exciting. So
that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yep.
Well, it's a good time for us to wrap here for now, though. So
yep, take care of it,
everyone. I want to thank you all for joining us. This episode of Automaton, myself and Modii 101, the man who grew a beard by watching a concert.
Sweet sensation, put microphones in their pants. What else am I supposed to do? Wasn't my choice. Hormones are weird. Go on.
If you're new to either of our channels, hit the subscribe button, leave a like, leave a comment, love seeing that kind of thing. As always, I want to give a huge shout out to our sponsors, HostHavoc. If you're looking for quality Minecraft servers and more, go check out HostHavoc in the description down below. Be sure to use the referral link so know who has the absolute best fans. It's clearly us.
Clearly.
Where else are you gonna get amazing content like Modii watching the Sweet Sensation and stick a microphone in their pants?
All right, stop talking about it. You're making my beard grow more.
Jesus.
You keep talking about it. I'm gonna get this thing zipped up in my pants when I'm done peeing. Cut it out.
Anyways, guys, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you later.
Bye.